All right, boys. We got fantasy football season time. That means the draft is coming up. You got to be prepared. Here's my top 10 fantasy QBs. Important caveat, this is for fantasy. This is not my top 10 QBs. I already know it's going to get confused. Argue with me in the comments. It's cool, whatever. But top 10 fantasy QBs. This does not mean that they're going to be the best. They're just going to light it up and put up a bunch of stats. Sometimes it's because they got bad defenses. Anyway, here's the list. Might see some controversial picks right there. All right, number one, Josh Allen. Everybody's number one. Don't got to explain much. But he finished second last year behind the MVP Matt Stafford. He's always going to put up numbers. Not to mention he's an Iron Man. He don't get hurt. Always the safe pick. Should pretty much always be QB1 to be picked. And then I got Dak Prescott, number two. All right, they already self-proclaimed themselves Goaty, however the hell you say it. It's the greatest offense there is. You know, that's what they're saying. I have high expectations. They're going to be a really good team. That offense is going to light it up. Plus, defense ain't that good. So Dak's probably going to have to throw the ball 30 times a game. He's going to put up numbers. He'll still, get some small rushing touchdowns, a little bit with his legs. He's not completely pocket guy, but expect him to have a great offense, him to throw it to George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, two very target hungry guys. They got to eat, and the only way they eat is if Dak eats. So I got Dak number two. Joe Burrow number three. Basically for the same reason, their defense sucks. They're going to have to be running up some numbers. Joe Burrow balls out. I think he's the modern era Drew Brees. He's going to forever be held back by his team, by the limitations of a small market. But anyway, Joe Burrow number three. He's going to light it up. Great weapons, just like the Cowboys. I mean, there's no reason for him not to. He's proven that he's one of those top guys when he's healthy. Another important caveat, I'm not banking on any guys to get hurt. So this is just if they're available, this is what I expect. Joe Burrow, number three. Jaden Daniels, number four. Washington Commanders. Terrible, terrible defense. Added a couple pieces. Don't expect a whole lot. Offense is not as loaded as you would like, especially compared to Dak Prescott and Joe Burrow. But Jaden really has those legs factor. He'll get them extra points. And it's another as long as he stays healthy kind of guy. But he can prove it. He did it his rookie year. I don't think he's going to have a CJ Stroud kind of regression. As long as he stays healthy, he's going to put up numbers. He's going to have to carry that team if they want to do anything. So I got Jaden Daniels, number four, rushing on the ground, throw it through the air. He's going to put up some points. Then we got Drake May, number five. Drake May, he's going to be balling out. I expect him to have a great season. They added A.J. Brown. He's only adding another year of experience. I think that he can have another season just like the one. He might not be as efficient as he was last year. He had some pretty crazy efficiency, especially for a rookie quarterback. But I expect him to put up numbers. A.J. Brown's going to be begging for the ball. So Drake May, he's going to be forced to pass it a lot. I think he's going to have some great opportunities to run up the score. Now, this is a different kind of situation from the past three teams. They actually have a solid defense. Whether or not that hinders the offense or not, they don't really have the running game to be able to take the ball out of Drake May. Plus, he gets some good rushing yards. So I expect Drake May to be pretty damn good this year. And then I got Lamar Jackson, number six. You might think that's a little low, but Buddy just doesn't run that much anymore. He really doesn't. He's super efficient as a passer, but when you got Derrick Henry in your backfield, he's going to steal those touchdowns, especially at the short goal line. And then not to mention, Lamar doesn't run it as much, and he never was like a super prolific passer, even though he's super efficient, never was super prolific. So I don't expect a whole lot from Lamar on his category. I still expect him to be QB6. He's still sixth on the list. I just don't think that he's going to be putting up insane numbers, especially considering that backfield that he's got. Then I got Matt Stafford, reigning MVP at number seven. Might feel a little low considering how great of a season he had last year. I just think, he popped off. He popped off like crazy. He's not going to have like some crazy fall off. If this was my top 10 quarterback list, I'd probably have him just a smidge higher. I think that he's fantastic. He isn't one of the best of all time, but he's like in that like secondary conversation, I would feel like. He's a great quarterback. Great weapons on the Rams. They're going to be loaded. Their defense obviously is pretty damn good, though. So he's not going to get the benefit of having to throw it all the time. Not to mention they got the two combo with Kyren Williams and Blake Corum. So it's just a well-rounded offense. I just don't think he's going to be needed to be leaned on as hard. And you don't know what's going on with Puka. All that stuff is, and then I got Jalen Hurts at number eight. I got him falling a little bit, but without the A.J. Brown. But with the tush push, it's just so safe that he's going to get those rushing touchdowns, especially if you have like the 4-point passing touchdown leagues. He's going to be up there just because the amount of rushing touchdowns that he gets from all the tush pushes and just the short yardage gains in general. But even though I think his offensive numbers are probably going to be pretty ugly this year, 200 yards a game, something like that, he just gets so many rushing touchdowns that it helps makes up for it. And then I got Caleb Williams, number 9. I think Caleb's going to have a really good season. They lost DJ Moore. Whether or not that plays a huge factor, I don't know. He didn't really do much when he was on the Bears. But not having a veteran receiver out there who's as high caliber as DJ Moore is, we'll certainly see. But honestly, I have him at 9 just because Chicago's the Windy City. You never have quarterbacks succeed there. There's a reason why they've never had a 4,000-yard passer. It's just really tough being out in that wind like that. He has the arm strength to be able to cut through the wind, and, he did all sorts of heroics last year. But I just don't expect him to quite have the consistency that what you would need. I think they're going to be a great offense. I think they're still going to be a top 10 offense. I just don't think that Caleb is going to be as um, efficient as these other guys. But still made the top 10 list. Still going to be a great pick. And then Jared Goff rounding out at number 10. Lions are just a loaded offense. I expect him to be able to ball out. Just depends how many touchdowns go on the ground or not. But I still think that he's going to be a 4,500-yard passer, somewhere in that range with at least 30 touchdowns. So Jared Goff's going to be great. He always puts up numbers even though he doesn't really get that much respect when it comes to like top 10 quarterback lists. But he's going to have a ton of volume. So I expect him to be on that list. So that is my top 10 fantasy quarterbacks trying to get you ready for your draft season. Dak Prescott's probably the biggest outlier, I would say, for sure, at number 2. That offense is just loaded. That defense not good. He's going to have to throw the ball. And I just like Dak. I like Dak. I think he gets a lot of disrespect when it comes in the league. But that's the list. There you go. Hope you all win your fantasy leagues. Can't tell you who I'm picking, but, it's a little more obvious with my list now. So there you go.